You have read the description title very well. Yes, you can be able to work full-time as an F1 student here in the US. Hello, my name is Diana, and for those who know me, I came to the US in 2017 as an F1 visa, and I completed my studies in 2020. I'm currently working at my local hospital here in Michigan, but I went to school in Minnesota, Lake Superior College. I'm working as a surgical technology at my local hospital here in Michigan. Coming to the US was the best thing that happened to me because it literally changed my life. I went from depending on my parents for everything to now helping my parents back home and being a support system for my parents back home. And without wasting your time right now, I just want to get right into what brought you into this video today. How you can work as a full-time student here in the US. There's different ways you can work: on-campus employment and off-campus employment. I'm gonna start with on-campus employment. On-campus employment meaning you're working in school. And when I say working in school, I mean you can work at the library, you can work at the cafeteria, you can basically work anywhere in school. And what's the qualification of working in school? Literally, if you are an active student in that school with a standing visa, you can be able to apply and work in school. But there's a limitation. If you're an F1 international student, F1 visa holder, you can only work 20 hours a week when school is in session, and when school is not in session, you can work up to 40 hours a week or when school is not in session. But the issue is, most of the time when they need workers at school is when school is in session. But some schools, the library is usually open when it's summer break, so you can be able to get more hours in. I got my first job obviously in school, and I worked at the cafeteria, and that's how I got my social security. So one way to be able to have a social security is to secure a job in school. So let's go to off-campus employment. There's different ways you can get off-campus employment, and I can give you 3 ways that I am going to talk about today. There's one that's Hardship, there's 2, there's CPT, and the last one is OPT. Let's talk about Hardship. Hardship is when you are not able to pay your tuition or your sponsor stopped paying your tuition, because life happens and everybody understands that. So if you are in that situation, you go speak to someone in your school called DSO. It's your designated school official, or you would hear people call international advisor. So you need to go talk to them and explain to them your situation. After explaining to them your situation, they will need to see if you qualify to apply for a hardship program. And a hardship program is basically when you are given a work permit to be able to work out of school, to be able to sustain yourself. There is some qualifications for those people who can apply to this. The first thing, you have to have completed a whole academic year, meaning you have to have completed a summer and a spring semester, or a spring semester and a fall semester. If the DSO approves your request, you will apply for a work permit and sent to you from the USCIS, and you can be able to get off-campus employment. This can go different ways, and at the end of the video I am gonna give you guys a bonus tip on when life is so hard in the US as an international student, which is definitely to be expected. I'm gonna give you a tip on how you can go about this, so stick around till the end of the video. The second way you can be able to work outside of school is an OPT. OPT stands for Optional Practical Training. So this means that you can work in an area that's related to the program of your studies in a whole year to work off campus, and this can be done in different ways. You can do it before you complete your program, and you can do this after you complete your program. So before you do your program, it's called pre-OPT. After you finish the program, it's called post-completion OPT. But in order to apply for this, definitely you will need an approval from your DSO or your international advisor, and so that you can move forward with the whole process. And for this one, you do have a limitation. If you're doing it pre completed of your program, you're gonna work 20 hours a week when school is in session, and obviously when school is not in session, you can work as much as you want. And you qualify to apply for this program at each level of education. So like you can apply for associate's level, when you get to bachelor's you can apply, when you get to master's you can apply. So every level of your education, you can apply for OPT, either pre-OPT or post-OPT. The other way you can work is CPT, which stands for Curricular Practical Training. People will call this work study. I'm gonna give an example to this. Is like if you're in school for nursing, something called nursing assistant. So you can be able to work as a nursing assistant as you go to school for nursing. Something that I just found out today is that CPT, you can work full-time even when school is on session. And this is very, very, very beneficial news, because I thought CPT, you can work 20 hours a week when school is in session and 40 hours a week when school is not in session, but you can be full-time working as CPT. So this is very vital and very good information. You are eligible to apply to this program to your DSO only if you have completed a whole full academic year on that school. So couple things that I want to talk about. On-campus employment, where you can work in school. I've talked about OPT, I've talked about CPT, and I've talked about the hardship too. And all of this, one thing that I've seen, it's in common, all of this, you have had to be in school for a whole academic year. One special tip also that I need to add on the OPT is there's something called STEM. STEM means that if you finish your OPT, when you're doing your post-OPT, if your area of study was science, technology, engineering, or math, you're eligible for an extension because your program falls into something called STEM. So you can get more than a year of study depending on how you can work with your employer and the school. Finish up all this, I want to give you guys a tip on how you can handle some situations when life gets really hard as an international student. So here's the tip. You are eligible to get a semester off without going out of status. Yes, that is correct. If life is very hard for you and you need a time to regroup yourself because of so many things, and you know what? People are human and they understand there's mental health issues. So don't force yourself to go to school and waste money and not perform your best, because you want to make good use of your money, because tuition is not cheap. So you are eligible to take a semester off and be able to regroup yourself, put yourself together. And so you can be able to come back the next semester very fresh and ready to move on with your studies. Good advice that I can give to a student is, however you're feeling, like whatever you're going through, just go talk to the DSO or your international advisor. They always have the best information. They're always a good resource as an international student on how you can maneuver things in school. You do not want to go out of status, because that is not going to be good for you in this country. Please, more videos are coming out. The next video that's going to come out is how to survive as an international student in this country. You cannot just come to this country and just live life from your previous country. There's a culture here you need to follow. There's some rules and regulations that if you're a student and you do those things, you were really ruining your life here in this country. So make sure you're subscribing to my YouTube channel so you can get a notification anytime I post any video. And if I were you, if I was a student, if you're already in the US, if I'm someone who really wants to come to the US, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can always message me on TikTok, on Instagram. Here's my username. Always text me, let me know what's going on with you, and I can always advise you in any way I can possibly can. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you have an amazing time. Thank you.